already seen the position of the jungle. Jeunes, again, could be either flexed in mid or Baron lane. We are yet to see, but it's all about where that third pick lands. Is it going to be another sort of guesswork flex pick, or are we actually going to see the ADC be picked where the misfortune was being hinted there?
I wonder if the I don't know if the Vayne was the bug in the end, because I think it'd be very surprising for the Vayne to be picked up. I don't know if that was the bug or if it was the, like you said, the misfortune on the other side. I'm not actually too sure. I guess we'll find out once this gets picked on here. And yep, maybe that was the bug. Maybe they wanted another pick instead, as they are hovering the Ezreal and they're going to pick the Ezreal. So yeah, would have been quite a surprise to see a Vayne, to be fair. I saw the pick and I was like, oh, hold on a second. Like, what's happening here? It's like, is there something that I don't know about the game that other players do know about the game? But no, I mean, that's going to get taken away there. It's going to be the Ezreal instead, which means that on the other side, the Xayah is going to get hovered. Pick that is very, very safe. Pick that is very, very strong. Just try and decide between the two, either Xayah or Kai'Sa. Xayah is going to be the answer in the end. I think a really good pick against the heavy engage that Almighty Capybaras have brought out with that Nautilus and Hecarim.
Of course, Stu's going to say that. I mean, he's a Xayah main anyway, so it's always going to be very,
obvious,
very
man. Like everyone will say the same. Come on. Everyone.
We know you love that champion. We know you love that champion. We don't need any sort of excuses or any sort of mechanical reasoning behind it. It's just Stu likes it, we pick it. Brilliant. Well, yeah, you were right. Obviously, Vayne not coming through, and Ezreal again, another champion that was picked very highly last week as well. And then we kind of started to see the bans towards the support role, so we could see a Galio ban potentially here, because again, that was a huge support pickup from last week. Alistair there, and then obviously Baron lane for the side of BBB with the Garen and the Renekton. Renekton was actually a really big pickup again last week, but no, they go for the Ornn. So could we potentially see that Galio come through on the side of Almighty Capybara Elite? No, sorry, BBB, sorry. Getting a bit carried away with myself, but it looks like they're going for the set as for potentially the Baron lane.
It could be Baron lane set, could be support set. Obviously, it's not Heste, so it's not the crazy set that we saw from last week. Interesting enough that they did ban away Baron lane champions. It makes me feel like the Jeunes might go up in the Baron lane with the bans, or maybe they just wanted to cut a few out because they knew they wanted to pick up the set, just banning away a few counters. That could also be the idea and the plan behind banning away the Baron lane champions. I have to see how this composition rounds out. Camille being picked up for Almighty Capybara, then they're just going to round out their composition now with a mid laner. We'll have to see what mid laner they want to pick up in the end. Could be the Corki. They'll have a lot of poke with the Corki with the Ezreal as well, and that is going to be the pick as well. I wonder if they also have the new Chroma Crash Corki skin as well. I haven't actually tried the skin yet, but maybe new skin buff will be in the game. But now BBB have to round out their composition now with a pick of their own, and this will kind of round out the composition for us to see where all of these champions are going. And it is going to be Jeunes mid, is going to be Jax in the Baron lane, and then Set down in the support role. So getting that kind of priority on a Baron lane pick could have been an option there for BBB in the first pick of the second pick phase, but instead they picked up the Set, which can go really well at disengaging and helping peel for Xayah. And they got Jax against Camille now in the Baron lane.
Yeah, so it was definitely a battle of the flex there, keeping us guessing, keeping us on our toes, as we've just come from, like, what, how many hours of casting, Stu? We're not getting let off easy with this one, it doesn't seem anyway. But yeah, it's really interesting to see the Camille come through. Again, Camille was a big pickup from last week. Everyone was seemed to gunning for her in the Baron lane. So to see her actually get picked like so little down the line within the Showdown already shows you the difference of the priorities in these picks, or it could just be a comfort issue with that Camille as well. But like you said, in terms of peeling, then the team comp on the side of BBB seems very strong there. But yeah, speaking of Chroma Crash, I actually put a few quid, the British pounds, the king's currency, into Wild Rift yesterday, and I didn't actually buy the skin. I did the little gotcha thing where it was 150 per one, and I got the brand one. So I got the brand skin for like 750. I was like, sick, I'll work. That's me done. I'm not putting any more in.
Lucky guy. Yes, yeah. Look at this guy just like kind of praising his luck, just thinking he's the luckiest guy alive. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah. You're lucky. You have gacha luck. I don't have gacha luck, unfortunately. I opened a few and I didn't get any at all. So I was like, I guess I have to pay for them myself, I guess. I've got to pay the 1,600 for them instead of the, well, it could have been 150 for them if I got extremely lucky. I wonder if someone actually got away with it and got just randomly opened one chest for 150 and was just like, oh, sick, a skin for 150 wild cores. I'll take that.
Buzzing. But now I've got to try and figure a way out of getting like 500 of those orange essence so I can get the chroma. Well, not the chroma, but the prestige one, because that is a pretty sick addition of the brand skin, to be fair. I'm not really a brand player, but I think the chroma crash really suits that.
Oh, now you're going to have to play it now. You kind of got no choice, have you, really?
I mean, when you go to autofill and you go into jungle all the time, it doesn't really matter, does it? So...
No one wants to play jungle
brand on the way. But yeah, I mean, we have the... I mean, I don't know if they've changed that around in terms of the picks there, or they're just kind of panicked last minute, but Nautilus is obviously up in the Baron lane, which shouldn't be the case, and then Camille's down in the bot lane.
They're probably just not in order.
Yeah, how dare they? How dare they shoot?
I'm assuming they're not in order. It doesn't seem like they are anyway. They're never in order.
No. How dare they?
Sometimes they're in order, sometimes they're not. But we're just waiting for the game to start. We just have to wait for a few minutes for the games to start here and get ready and waiting for this one. But it'll be a pretty exciting game to start things off. I think we've got a few really strong picks and a few exciting picks as well. As I mentioned, you know, some of these players have been around on Wild Rift for a very, very long time. Again, I remember casting them before. Like the bot lane, I think for BBB are going to be very strong in this series. Fekko and Jeunes, also their mid laner as well. Also a very strong player that has been around for quite some time. Almighty Capybaras have kind of changed their roster around. It seems like they don't really have a lot of the same players as what I remember casting them before. Like we were casting them probably last year, I would say.
Yeah.
And they had a different roster than what they do now, but I'm sure they're still just as good. You know, all the players are from CIS, so they all have great synergy with each other. So it'll be a very exciting series to see what team is going to take it home, as we got 2 full best of 5s in a semi-final.
Absolutely, we love a best of 5, don't we, Stu? We love a best of 5.
How we were hoping it was best of 3, but it's fine. We got best of 5 instead.
We got that gut blow, didn't we, while she was doing the other broadcast? It was like, oh, they're all best of 5s. Oh, okay. So we're going to be here till like 10 o'clock. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
We forgot that they were best of 5s. Oh.
Whoopsie. But yeah, as you were saying about Almighty Capybara, I think the only same name, the brand name that's been there from the beginning is the sub, which is obviously Cold Star, and it seems like he's not playing today. But like you said, they're all from the CIS region. I'm pretty sure they are in that roster for a reason. But we are now into game 1 of this best of 5 between Almighty Capybara versus the brilliant BabyBus. You try and put a meaning to that name, I will pay you in love.
I don't know how you come up with these names. How do you like?
I don't.
How do you like? I don't know. You start up a team, and then you're like, what? And then you're talking to the team, right? Everyone's talking together, and they're like, what team name do we go for? And someone just turns around and just goes, brilliant BabyBus. Like, what even comes to your head when you think of that?
A brilliant BabyBus. I mean, they could have been like just sat on a bus shelter, and then all of a sudden a brilliant BabyBus just went by, and it's like, that's the one, that's our name, let's go for it. I mean, the thing that throws me off as well is the fact that it's brilliant BabyBus, but then the emblem is like a Grim Reaper, so the 2 furthest things away, death and babies, it doesn't quite make sense as well. So I don't know how they came up with that, but hey, I'm sure we will get some sort of insight knowledge. Hopefully one of them or somebody from the team in the chat can let us know how they came up with that brilliant BabyBus name. So anyway, back to the game. Are we seeing any sort of like off the cusp kind of runes here, or they're seeming very sort of like usual to you, Stu? I mean, they've gone for the is it empowerment on the Ezreal there?
Yeah, the empowerment on the Ezreal is kind of the the snipe in the end from the Jayce in the mid lane. Really, really smart play there from the mid laner, but it's going to get ganked by the Hecarim. He's going to die by the Hecarim as well, since he doesn't have a flash, but a trade kill in the end in the mid lane. But yeah, as you mentioned, empowerment for the Ezreal doesn't have as much scaling as a rune like Conqueror, for example. You don't have the same sort of, I guess, pressure in the mid game, but empowerment definitely gives you a lot of early game damage. And Jeunes seems to be in huge trouble here as the ultimate comes through from Hecarim. And that is another kill over to Almighty Capybara, and they're going to try and get a plate here in the bot lane. They're not going to get it in the end, but empowerment gives you a lot more early game damage and a lot more early game pressure as well, which is, hey, what they did very, very well to get an advantage in this bot lane.
Yeah, it could be a clear sign that they want to finish this game pretty early then, because, I mean, as you say, if it's something that kind of doesn't benefit you as much in the mid to late game, then I assume that it's going to be a very aggressive play here. But fair play to Almighty Capybaras picking up those 2 kills. Obviously, First Blood does go over to them, but they were able to trade that mid kill with, was it onto the Corki, I believe? Yes, Corki goes down there. And then Hecarim with a very nice clean rotation, again, back down to the Dragon lane to pick up the other kill as well. So again, a huge amount of gold going over to the Hecarim. 700 gold ahead of the Lilia right now, which could be troublesome if he's able to keep continuing at that same kind of pace with gaining that gold.
Yeah, we've kind of seen it already last weekend with how strong Hecarim can be and how strong Hecarim can kind of run away with games as well after some time. As you can see, Hecarim going for another gank in the mid lane. Jayce doesn't have a flash available, has nothing else left, but the Jayce trade kill in the end for the Jayce. Really good knockback into the Hecarim, and since he got the kill as well as the ultimate there from Lilia, the flash forward as well, getting another kill. Both supports even roaming up as well now, so all the action is happening in the mid lane. But really nice play again from the Jayce to knock the Hecarim underneath the tower, take the trade kill, and also get a shutdown as well. And look at that mid lane gold difference at the moment, over 1,000 gold in the mid lane that this Jayce is ahead right now.
Yeah, already currently building that lethality build. He has the Boots of Dynamism. I'm not going to butcher that item ever again. And we currently already seen the Serrated Dirt come through as well. So we can imagine that he's going for Yumu's Ghost Blade first item. And what an engage under the turret from the Jayce. So unrelenting, just pushing that gold lead even further. Could we get a snipe here? Is he going to predict? No. Oh, the flash! And the first ability again from Jayce. This guy is picking up kills left, right, and center.
I just remembered as well, thanks to someone in chat, of what the name of the mid laner is. Kiss Kiss. That's where I knew the summoner name looked familiar. I couldn't remember his like actual name that he goes by. But I mean, Kiss Kiss is one of the best mid laners that has come around for quite some time now in Wild Rift. As it looks like there's an engage with the Corki package in mid lane, and the 2 of the members get completely caught out as well just before this time, and that means that the Rift Herald is now going to be up and available. The Corki package coming in handy to make sure that they can take that away. They're trying to take the Dragon in response with the Jax roaming all the way down here, but you're going to try and take it. It seems like they're going to take it just in time, but the mid laner is going to be completely exposed. And that's going to be the first tower going over to Almighty Capybara elites.
Yeah, so even after that Jayce barrage of death at 4, now 3 deaths, he manages to build that Yumu's. We have the Lilia building a lot of those little bucks coming through there, so just giving as a great early amount of AP damage as she can get, as well as those magic pen boots also. So we can kind of see there's no sort of gunning for a main item, but getting 5 of those books across the board is going to be pretty huge in terms of early game magic damage. It's just going to be out fleshing those out now and trying to catch up with that gold lead on the Hecarim, as he's currently ahead by roughly 600 gold now. It's not the greatest gold lead between the two, but like you say, that gold lead in the mid lane, huge. And there's a bit of an opposite effect up into that Baron lane with Jax against the Camille, but we could see the Lilia getting caught out here. Hecarim gets pushed away from the set. What a nice play there on the side of brilliant BabyBus. They have definitely earned their name with Bus because clearly Hecarim needed a Bus to catch back up to the Lilia there, but was unable to because there was no Bus on the schedule. They could see a few turret platings being taken down here. It is a 4v4 under the Dragon lane turret now. So again, a kill for Xayah taking out the Hecarim, and then we have a bit of a barrage onto the Nautilus as well. Nautilus goes down also, so that is a 2-0 trade for BBB. Sahara is looking pretty low as well, but they do manage to get the kill. Double kill onto Jayce and a triple kill onto Kiss Kiss. Mwah, mwah, there for the side of BBB.
Roam down in the end is the difference. A bit of an interesting tower dive really from almighty Capybara elites. I'm not too sure what they were thinking with the tower dive. The Nautilus hook missed. Nautilus tried to flash forward. The Hecarim ulti missed as well. There was a lot of missed ultimates, a lot of missed abilities there from almighty Capybara, which meant that the rest of BBB were able to survive and sort of counter engage afterwards. And as you mentioned, the roam from Kiss Kiss, 7-3 already on this Jayce. Already has such a huge gold lead at the moment. As the first item completed already, you can see that the Lilia going for the 5 amplifying tomes just went for straight death cap as a first item, which is very surprising, to be fair. I don't think you would really need death cap as a first item, to be honest. That is a lot of damage, but not a lot of survivability. But we'll have to see if it goes in his favor. But so far, so good for BBB. Oh, nice. A roster that is looking incredibly strong right now.
Yep, I think it is definitely looking very promising here for them to take this mid lane turret as well. So again, another turret given up in that first tier bracket. We see that the clash, we do go and blend into 2 games. The Baron lane first tier turret, the mid lane, and the Dragon lane as well. But it's not quite done yet. The Jax is still harassing the Nautilus with the help of Lilia, and then comes through the status, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, Flopsy gets the shield, but is it going to be enough? Hecarim going in as well, but it's still nobody closing out a kill. Corki just doesn't know that... Corki didn't know that Set was there, and he was already focusing somebody else, but it's already going into the favor of BBB once again in that Baron lane.
Absolute fiesta in the Baron lane. A lot of engage happening, a lot of abilities going off, but the flash in the end from the Xayah was so clean to line up the feathers onto the Corki. The package was good, but the ultimate from Xayah keeping her alive and the feathers being pulled back to kill away the Corki. Really strong early game so far by the side of BBB, really showing that these picks are incredibly strong at the moment in this meta. With how fast Lilia can move around these fights, she's so difficult to lock down.
Absolutely. But we have the Mountain Drake up in 12 seconds as well. So we could see another team fight there because BBB already have one of the Drakes as well. So that's going to be a bit more of a priority for themselves. But Hecarim pushing the Jax out of the turret and feeding it up to the... I believe it was the Hecarim. Yes, Hecarim got the kill as well, I believe. I thought it was the Corki that got the kill, but never mind. But we are seeing that BBB are approaching that Mountain Drake and picking up a second soul for themselves. So again, just a complete different map dominance from the side of the red team. Set still not done with the Showmaker there, bringing them all in. But Nautilus fending off the Jayce as well. As we know, Jayce is doing a lot of damage onto the side of almighty Capybara elites as well. Xayah gets the kill onto Ezreal, but still they managed to get away with 3 of them. But it feels like Kiss Kiss is not done yet. He's preparing for a second engage. Just waiting and missing out. Shin's recall as well.
Recall just came up in time. It was extremely close in the end. But again, they're just surviving for such a long time. This set pickup with the Gargoyle Stone Plate in the end as well, just doing so much to be able to survive for a long amount of time, allow for the likes of Xayah to rotate around the map to get into the fight. Hecarim ulti completely misses again. The damage is trying to come through. The sleep from the Lily as well. The burst damage in the end from that death cap as the first item But they need to be careful though, because it's only a 3 versus 5. Kiss is not even in the fight. He's here now. Maybe he's going to clean up the fight. He gets 1 kill. Can he get 2 onto the Nautilus? He can. Can he chase and get any more? I'm sure Ezreal is going to be able to dash away from this one. Or maybe not. The flash forward. Another triple kill for Kiss. 10 and 3 for Jeunes right now in the mid lane. An incredible performance so far and in such a dominating fashion here.
Absolutely. I mean, 18 kills to 10. They're almost sitting at 9k gold difference as well. And they have the 2 Dragon Souls. They could easily make it for a 3rd, but whether the game's actually going to make it that far, the Baron Nashor has just spawned as well. But judging by the lane dominance by the side of BBB, they're not really going to need that Baron Nashor too much because, again, all very asserting in every lane, whilst Almighty Capybaras are struggling to either take that first tier turret in the Baron lane as well. So I'm not too sure what they can do here, Stu. Is there plenty to come through? Is there still hope for Almighty Capybara elites in this game 1?
It's hard to find a way of how they can really come out on top here. I mean, they're 10,000 gold behind. Maybe they need a pick like this in the bot lane. The problem is they've got all 5 members in this bot lane. Yes, they're going to kill Jax, but they're going to lose the Baron for it. Is that a worthy trade? Probably not, but I feel like at this point you just take any small wins here for Almighty Capybaras. You know, they've got the fully stacked Manimu now on the mid lane, on the bot lane. To be honest, though, these Baron buff minions are going to do so much work, though, in every single lane. They're going to try and get another kill. They do get the shutdown, actually, onto Kiss, and maybe this is an opportunity here for them to do a lot of work in this fight. The Lydia's a little bit exposed by herself. Another kill over to Almighty Capybara, and maybe they can try and turn things around. They do have to still try and defend this tower. They do have to be extremely careful. Xayah gets stunned as well. Ooh. And that's another kill for Almighty Capybara, an ace for Almighty Capybara, with Jax just coming up again now as well. And they've reduced the gold difference to half now. It was 10,000. Now it's only 5,000. That's a lot of gold in the pocket of all of these members here for Almighty Capybara.
A few misplays there by BBB, but they still do have that Baron Nashor buff for another 35 seconds. And here comes Jeunes coming through again with his already decade of kills. Is he going to pick up a few more before he dies? The status does come through, but Camille is putting some pressure onto the Jax as well. Able to escape with such little health. Look at Shin run. He's like a horse in the Grand National trying to win. But with that little health is crazy. Sahara actually managing to secure that Baron lane first tier turret as well. So we are going to get to that 3rd and final Drake, it seems, Stu. So are BBB going to be able to secure the first Dragon Soul within the Rift Legends Showdown, or is it going to be completely nullified by the side of all Capybara, all Capybara elites, sorry, as they seem to have pulled back what seemed like a clear win in that mid lane with all the minions at the base. I mean, still holding on to the inhibitors as well, which is pretty crazy to come back at that point.
Yeah, with the Baron buff going down, you really thought that the inhibitors would maybe go down as well, but instead they were able to defend it. They were able to get a few kills as well, but as you mentioned, with this Dragon Soul now being off, the Ocean Soul could go in the hands here of BBB. Ooh. The ultimate comes through, but the Dragon Soul is claimed. And here comes a team fight. A big ultimate into the backline here for Set. The Camille is doing all she can to try and kill the Xayah, but there's not enough damage in the end. This is going to be an ace for BBB in the end. They can push down the mid lane and they can end the game right now. It's going to be a quick and easy 1-0 here for BBB. A few little misplays, a few over misplays, I should say, by BBB, but overall a very strong performance by them in game 1.
Absolutely. I mean, that Jeunes is definitely going to be something, I reckon, that they're going to be banning off straight away in game 2, to be honest, because who would have thought Kiss was going to go so hard on that Jeunes? I mean, it was like 18 kills, a very early aggression, just amazing damage coming from the Jeunes. As you can see there, 11 kills to 4 MVP as well, and rightfully so, even though the likes of the Zaya managed to pick up 16k gold, but still topping everybody's gold on the side of Almighty Capybaras, as he was 14k, and they kind of peaked out at that 11.8k. But still, there was just a great amount of damage coming from everywhere on the side of BBB. You had obviously Lilia with the 5 bucks in the early game, and then managing to cash that all in for Ramadan straight away, building the Rift Maker into Leandre's, and then obviously the crit build coming through on the Zaya as well. But I think it's all down to how Jeunes played on this set, because he was able to sort of split the team fight when needed. So again, a great effort for the side of BBB.
Yeah, using the set aggressively when he needs to, or using the sets just disengage most of the time as well. You know, you have so much engage on the side of Almighty Capybara with the likes of Camille, Hecarim, and also Nautilus going in. When you're picking a champion like set, you can use it as more of a disengage tool as well as an engage tool as well. But all the damage really came from the mid lane here from Kiss Kiss, a really strong performance. You can see that little dip there. It was a steady gold lead, and there was a bit of a dip where they were able to come back in gold, Almighty Capybara, but then it just went all the way into the phase.